Hello people, my name is Rage, and welcome one and all to Bloodborne. It has been a while since we have walked the blood-soaked, beast-ridden streets of Yharnam, and I wanted to basically do a kind of, now that I've done everything, played the game a hell load, completed it, and just hunted everything that moves. The bloodlust was crazy. Just have a nice little fun chat with you guys about the game, and just basically be like, this is what I've done, this is awesome, let's enjoy Bloodborne some more. So, needless to say, there may be some spoilers. I'm not going to try and explicitly go, surprise, and ruin anything, like, major, but I am going to say watch this at your own risk if you're not a fan of, kind of, maybe 5 out of 10 level spoilers. So yeah, there we go. So as you can see, this is my hunter, still wearing the noble top hat, still an old Victorian guy who just has no time for being late, and I am now not using the threaded cane. I am actually using these little bad boys, and they are known as the Blades of Mercy. I've also got plate, metal, gauntlets, and legs, this kind of charred, flowy hunter's cape, and I'm kind of happy with how I look fashion-wise. So these blades then, we've got just lovely sliciness, which is really good, but their real appeal is that you can get your dual wield on them, and it is very, very fun to do so. You do some really excellent things, and they do a lot of damage. Character-wise, I am level 85, I've got 50 in skill, so these things, as they scale really well with skill, kind of destroy things. Now, I do have another weapon equipped that I will show you in a second. This I'm not going to talk about. So now that I have completed the game and done a hell load of stuff, there is a lot of good things to be said. I'm currently working my way through Chalice Dungeon, so that's what I'm going to be annihilating while we talk and have some fun. I have to say, the overall experience of Bloodborne, absolutely wonderful. The world, the lore, if you pay attention, beautifully crafted. Every detail is there for a reason, and you get a really rich story. Midway through the game, there is a massive tonal shift from Hunter on the streets of Victorian London to kind of crazy alien Lovecraftian Cthulhu horror, and it's a really lovely tone change, and I very much enjoyed battling freaky alien tentacle beings, which is not something I was expecting to do, and it was a pleasant surprise. All the bosses that I have fought have been really well designed. There's a lot of cool movesets. Visually, they're very distinctive from each other and really fun to fight. A few of them have given me more trouble than others. I have one-shot a fair few bosses. So in this dungeon, I have made it to the first boss. So Chalice Dungeons are really what I would call endgame, because there is New Game Plus in here, but it doesn't change anything but make stuff harder. There's no new items, and there's no reason to complete the game and have it force you onto New Game Plus. It kind of sucks that it does that. So currently I have stayed on normal your first new game, and I'm just working my way through the Chalice Dungeons to just have fun and unlock stuff. So this is the boss on the first layer of the dungeon that I'm currently in, and I've got to beat the 3 merciless watchers. So what I'm gonna do is probably attempt to parry them to death. And this one over here is obviously a little bit annoying because he just spends most of his time shooting at you. So if I can get him to attack, jump forward, get our visceral, this is going to do a large amount of damage to him. As you can see, it is very much a powerful visceral attack that I've got going on, because it does scale with skill a fair amount, does your visceral attacks. I feel like they scale with a few stats, but skill seems to have a very important role to play. That was a little bit worrying. I love using my sort of double dash back with the blades to get out of danger while also dealing a fairly large amount of damage. I am going to try and parry him again. That was close. I got hit by the bullets as he struck, meaning that I very nearly got absolutely clobbered Okay, and there goes our Watcher Chieftain. So he's a good one to get out of the way, and you want to save Mr. Stupidly Big compared to his gun for last. I mean, look at him. He's like this massive, brutish ogre dude, and he spends his time shooting this tiny little pistol that really doesn't make sense. And as we see here, the blades do a lot of damage, but in Chalice Dungeons you also take a crap ton of damage. This isn't even really an advanced Chalice Dungeon, but I'm still getting absolutely beaten up because I have not a great amount of defense from my playstyle. So I'm all about the dodgy, strikey, get behind people, stab them up with my dual swords. But it doesn't really work when there's multiple enemies because you can't really protect yourself from all angles. Okay, friend, come over here, and there we go. That's him completely taken care of. And then this guy we're going to kill in a much more personal approach because, quite frankly, I am sick of his crap. So let's move over here. He'll try to shoot me once again, and then I'm just going to go mental on him with the blades. And that's really how the blades have their real advantage. You do a lot of damage, and you are very, very mobile, which is really important with this weapon. Also, their dash attack is absolutely excellent, as you can see. So we'll go back to them. They are probably my favorite weapon that I have found so far. Alrighty, let us move on then to the next floor of the Chalice Dungeon. And I am kind of scared as to what the later bosses are like, because if these early on guys are battering me for 60% of my health with one hit, even with my swooshy flowy cape, I'm probably going to be in a bit of trouble. So I am going to look for a bonus door. There isn't one. That is a shame. Occasionally you get extra doors containing mad crazy loots. Okay, so that boss done and dusted. So yeah, the game as a whole, very, very good. The combat has been brilliant. The magic side of things, very disappointing, but then again, there was never a focus or proper system for that. They're just fun little tools. For example, if I use this Old Hunter's Bone, then when I dodge, I just teleport around instead of actually rolling, which is fun. I can also summon tentacles out my hand, which is kind of neat, and various other little tricks, but they're not really a playstyle you can rely on. Okay, so we got ourselves a pit down here. This door, we need to find the lever to unlock it and continue onwards. So what you can do as well with Chalice Dungeons is if you collect the right materials, you can activate a randomly generated Chalice Dungeon and basically explore them infinitely. Alright, now I am ready, guys, to show you probably my favorite weapon visually. It is the Burial Blade. Now, this thing packs a punch, but the coolest thing about it is a mother trucking scythe, and it is fun to use. It really, really is. I have made mine a bolt damage lightning scythe because that just really amuses me. I think it's nice to electrocute people with your scythy awesomeness. However, it's technically a more effective weapon in its one-hand form, which is a little bit of a shame. Now, it's not as strong as my Blades of Mercy because they don't have the good gems in, so I am basically using it as a reserve weapon when I need a load of extra reach, because it has some very good attacks, like that one, which is a very long-reaching sort of swipe. But we'll go back to the Blades of Mercy for now, because they're just really effective at getting through all this. And then their jump in and spin move like that is a very good technique for just running up to a group of enemies, doing your spin, hitting whatever you happen to hit, and then backing the hell out, as you can see. So I do very much enjoy hit-and-run tactics that you can pull off with these guys. It's a very, very fun playstyle. Tomb Mold is great. It's fairly rare. It's a material to actually activate these dungeons. And he technically survived the jammy rat. One could say he was a rat bastard. It's so much fun, isn't it? Okay, so I do want to complete this challenge dungeon on this video for you guys, but I've enjoyed the entire experience. That's really all I want to say. The bosses have been great. They've not walled me too hard. A few of them kicked my ass for a while. A few of them I one-shot, such as the Shades of Yharnam and Mr... Who else was it? Dark Beast Pal, that was a lot of fun fighting him, and there's just been a lot of cool experiences, too many to tell as tales, and I do like that you have tales that you can tell from playing this game. It makes it a wonderful experience with other people. Talking of with other people, though, we come to one of the bits that's not really that good in Bloodborne, and that's the co-op and PvP. It's ridiculously difficult to actually summon someone or go into someone's world, and even when you do, as an invader, you have 30% reduced health, which means you're already at a massive disadvantage. It's just very, very annoying. That ritual blood there is very important. It's what led us summon higher level Chalice Dungeon, so I am glad we found that, and more Ritual Blood 3. That is really excellent. So this was a lovely find in here. I never trust smoky rooms though, because they tend to hide enemies. I think we got away with that one quite luckily. Okay, so across the bridge is the way to go. That bridge very much looked like it was falling. Surprise! Oh, he actually survived the hit. That is interesting. Okay, come a little bit closer to me. Oh, how did that not affect him? Alright, we'll just go with old school style then. And the good thing about the blades as well is because they attack so fast, they're very good at regaining. And they also stack up a kind of bleed, and once you stack it up enough, you do a massive burst of damage, which really shreds things. If you can get a good full stamina bar on a boss, you're gonna be wrecking. I'm enjoying this build. Okay, we found our boss here, so I'll show you what the Executioner's Gloves do. They fire little ghosty spirit things, which do an okay amount of damage. We jump around him, and we should be able to finish him fairly easily, as you can see. Very good. And a Cursed Gemstone. Interesting. And here we have the lever to unlock the gate from the start. So let's go face our second boss in this labyrinth then. Hopefully it's not someone too ridiculous, and hopefully it's not a multiple enemy fight, because again, I kind of suck at those, though I did one-shot the triple enemy actual boss in the game, which I'm still very, very proud of, and we are drenched in blood here, but I do love how my character looks. I think this cape kind of still looks Victorian-y, but it also looks like the kind of cape someone who is dual-wielding swords would use, and that's what I really wanted to go for with my look. And there are a lot of areas in the game that are absolutely stunning. There is a castle that is wonderful to explore. It's full of spooky ghosts, and it's very unnerving. They rip their heads off and shriek at you, and it's like, oh my god! And you do end up in a lot of situations like that, so it's very, very fun. Okay, I believe it was this way. One of the annoying things about Chalice Dungeons is I have a terrible sense of direction, so I often find myself completely going the wrong way at all times. This, I believe, is correct, because we did drop down this pit at the start, and there we have it. Come on, second boss! I believe. So each Chalice Dungeon that you summon, there are 4 types, and you go deeper and deeper into the ground, and they get more and more difficult. And each individual dungeon has 3 bosses and 3 layers, and 3 sort of mazy rooms worth of loot for you to explore to your heart's desire. Okay, Undead Giant. Alrighty then, let's well, we'll stick to dual wielding for now. He seems like a fairly slow individual who you're going to want to roll sort of behind and get in some hits, like so. Okay, he does have a 360 clear. That was a little bit unexpected, but we know for now. So maybe actually a bit of burial blade action might be good with him if I can. Nope, he has a much longer reach than the scythe. So this is a little bit of an interesting fight here. I wonder if he is staggerable. I think that's something we need to identify. Okay. I doubt he is. I don't want to risk it too much by actually getting too close, but I am going to use my Hunter's Bone to speed up my dodging, but I really timed that horribly both times. This guy is very challenging. This is the first difficult Chalice Dungeon boss I've actually faced, because basically you're supposed to start doing Chalice Dungeons when you first unlock them, which is technically the 3rd boss of the game. So if you wait till the end game to start progressing through them, you're obviously going to slaughter the enemies. So I feel like I finally caught up to the point that I am supposed to be at. So we're going to have to fight him very, very slowly. I mean, at the start, I did... I cannot exchange blows with him at all. This is difficult, and I am down to 2 of my blood vials, so I'm not entirely sure how I'm even going to pull this off. Okay, let's try and just dodge through him like that. And I did not expect the 360 there, but I did get a nice amount of damage off, so that's good. That is what I need to do. So I just need to be a lot more confident in my timing when it comes to stabbing him. Okay, and I need to stop being as greedy as I was. And he is bleeding a fair amount, which is probably a good sign for me. Okay. We want to get out of here. There we go. You gotta very much watch these. And the cool thing about Chalice Dungeons, that was a shame. I really thought he was doing a different attack. The cool thing about Chalice Dungeons is the bosses that you face in them are different to the main game bosses. But you can also find main game bosses in the Chalice Dungeons, which is kind of a nice surprise, but also terrifying. Ooh, if you find yourself against one that was a problem for you. So I don't really know my plan now. He's not low enough for me to just try and recklessly go into. Whew, okay, so maybe I could keep baiting that and doing my dash attack in. That could probably work out, but I'm going to have to play very carefully for the rest of this fight, so it's probably going to be quite a slow one. He didn't follow up with his smash down, which is a shame, because that's what gives me the way back in. May have taken my hands off the controller there, which is really not what we're wanting to do. Why is he not doing his smash afterwards? Ooh. Okay. This is very, very scary. Okay, what was that? I don't trust what that would have done. Back out again, back out again. And I could probably do this for a while. That was a new move. Definitely. Ooh. Missed. I missed. I missed. And this is a technique that you can use for a lot of bosses in the game. Wait till they do a move, dash in, do your double blade dash, and then dash out again. I kind of want to keep doing this until he falls down, and then maybe I can get a visceral attack, which would finish him off. So this is a chainy one, and then we have our... Ooh, that was closer than I felt comfortable with, definitely. Come on, friend. You can do this. This is very ridiculous, but this is very much the epitome of boss fighting. You've got to really play as patiently as possible, and you can make your health go a long way. I kind of got a little bit panicky towards the earlier part of the fight, and ended up using way too many blood vials that I should have done. And there it is! Okay, oh god, no. That's not where it is at all. Okay, one more and we should get there, but we did manage to get the visceral, so at least that is something. So we just need him to do his big chain smash again, and we should be okay. Do your boulder part, man. Do your boulder part. Do the boulder part. And there it is. Okay, so I managed to do that. Good. I'm glad I'm not a complete and total noob. Alright, let's move on to the next lamp then. That was very intense. I enjoyed that a lot. That was a cool boss fight. It's very much edge of your seat stuff, and that's really what the whole game creates as a feeling. You always feel like at any moment you were about to horribly die, and then I just walked in completely the wrong direction, so that's pretty damn good. So I am out of blood vials and bullets, which is definitely going to be an issue, but I'm still going to continue on irrelevant, because you get a lot of blood vial drops in the Chalice Dungeons, and outside of the final boss, I think I'll probably be okay. I mean, they are famous last words, definitely, but I refuse to give in, because a hunter never quits. But that guy hit like a truck. Like, if you had less vitality than I do, then he's actually going to one-shot you with his chain swipe, so patience very much seems to be the answer with Undead Giant. That is actually the second Undead Giant I've faced, but the first one didn't have the kind of boulder arms, so that's a new addition. So the bosses do develop as you go through the dungeon, which I like. This worries me. This is the spider minion of a certain boss in the game that was very challenging to beat, like exceptionally challenging to beat, and they hit like a truck. I'm actually very concerned by this. Like, I genuinely don't know how I am going to beat it, because he doesn't, as you can see, take damage from his front. You have to, like, really work on him for a while in order to make that happen. I need him to jump on his face again, and then he's killable to one attack. Come on. Come on. You can do it. I believe. No, don't do that. Whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa. So, one thing you can do with these guys is get behind them very easily, because they're very much forward moving, and then you can take them out. I'd rather not lose these 40,000 blood echoes, though. That would be very much a shame. Alright, we got 3 normal undead dudes, and okay. Alrighty then, we have explosions firing at me. Let's boogie on down here, where oh god, there's more of them. This is quite the intense little floor with no healing, and I'm dead to anything. That thing is horrific. Oh, and dogs. Just in case, right, it wasn't bad enough, we're now having to deal with dogs. Okay, we got rid of that one. There was a second dog, so he's not actually aggroed me, but those guys still very much are. Sitting still is not the smartest move to do at kind of any point ever, actually. Okay, we'll go back up the steps, because clearly down here is just a death trap. We have a kidnapper and a bell maiden, so really this entire area is just ridiculous. Hopefully we can kill the bell maiden in time. We can indeed. Ooh, hoo, hoo, hoo. Roll away. Okay. And this guy should die fairly swimmingly. I mean, he did actually die in a pool, so that makes me happy. Okay, we've got a little bit of breathing room. At least a tiny bit. And some bullets now, so we can at least get ourselves a visceral off. So who is this guy? He looks very much like someone I don't want to tangle with. So I'm going to slowly sneak up on Mr. Kidnapper here and get ourselves a back visceral, because I don't want to risk fighting him. I'm being fired at, I'm being fired at, I'm being fired at. Oh my god! In all that is holy, can they not fire fireballs? Ooh, okay. Alright, return up the stairs. That... okay. Chalice Dungeons are much more challenging than the actual game. They are designed to be, so... Of course, Mr. Little Guy with Axes finishes me off there. So, what I thought I'd do at this point is, in the, the rest of the video that I just cut from, I basically went and farmed blood vials to continue the Chalice Dungeon, and then it occurred to me, ain't nobody got time to watch me farm. So what I thought I'd show you is some footage I recorded from various bosses that I enjoyed fighting. And at this point, probably should emphasize the spoiler warning, though not this one particularly. It is only the second/first boss, so I'm sure a lot of you are aware of Papaji here. But he was a very, very interesting boss. Him being able to get visceraled meant he was rather easy to kill. As you can see, it's just pretty much hang back, shoot at the right time, and you're kind of fine. His werewolf transformation didn't actually affect me that much. We'll just keep our eyes affixed to the screen. There better be no non-affixing going on, everybody. So at this point, we're going to get a visceral off to the roll, which I thought was really, really awesome. And then he goes back once more and does a little swing, and then he starts to do his werewolf, and I'm like, I'm just gonna throw Molotovs at you, and then you're gonna die. That one's a little bit scary as he was running at me, and he kind of just died, which, you know, I was pretty pleased with. But he was one of my favorite boss fights simply because he is another hunter, and the hunter-on-hunter fights are really cool and well done. I think enemy NPC hunters have way too much health, but on a boss, that's to be expected. So I really, really like the Papaji fight. This fight is just, I threw it in here because it's a little bit silly. The Witch of Hemwick, you kind of just run around the room finding these invisible witches while fending off the minions that they're summoning, and it's basically just a game of run round and backstab these sort of eyeball-covered old sort of haggy things, and then they die. It's almost a free boss fight in difficulty, but it is rather fun. They do have a nasty attack where they can grab you and slowly try and eviscerate out your eyes, which does ridiculous amount of damage. And yeah, it's just basically me sprinting around everywhere looking for invisible witches, and there we go. You'll notice that one didn't actually take damage on the health bar when I hit it, because there is a second one that is all secret. So I managed to bring the first one down, and the second one shortly after. It was pretty damn easy, but I did like it as a fight, the whole invisible hunting. And then probably my favorite boss fight I've done, well, definitely up there, top 3, mainly because I am really proud that this was my honest blind first attempt at the boss, getting my chain on. I am a little bit sad to have dropped the threaded cane. It is still in my top 3 favorite weapons, but you can only equip 2. So at this point I was like, this is a triple enemy boss fight, and they all seem a little bit strong. What am I going to do? I have no idea. And this also brings up a point that I really want to stress. There should be a proper magic system in Bloodborne. That guy is clearly using magic, firing fireballs. Why is there not a magic system? I get the focus on melee combat, I really do. This bit, by the way, the roll! Roll, bitch, roll, please! Please, roll out the way, roll, I need to leave! I was a little bit stressed there. So I'm not really making much headway in this fight, and I don't have a lot of blood vials left, so I was a little bit concerned, but we'll speed things up as we go. But yeah, I would love a magic system. It, you know, obviously balance it, because range is a little bit strong in this game. Maybe a more sort of close mid-range magic system, but just the ability to make it your main way of combating, even if it's tied into a particular trick weapon. I just would have liked to do it. So with a few visceral attacks, the pure melee guy goes down, and then I was horrified to find that snakes burst out of their chests, and they gain new moves. Mr. Flaming Swordman can now extend his arm in like a snaky weird grab thing, and it was a little bit terrifying. I was trying to visceral him down as well, and I managed to pull it off, and then this guy goes basically Super Saiyan and starts summoning giant snakes out the ground, which try and whip you about the place, and it is like very difficult to dodge them. I took to just rolling as much as I could. So we'll slow it back down again, as you can see the massive snakes coming out the ground. And I ended up having the technique of just run at him when he summons the massive ass snakes, and then roll like crazy once they reach full height, and it tended to do pretty well, as I just had to slowly wait and finish him. So he basically gains the powers of all of them. Like, the range on that sword hook was actually insane. Instead of healing there, and obviously I don't have any left, I just went for the kill and finished it. So that made me very happy. So yeah, that'll do. Just 3 examples I wanted to show you of boss fights I kind of like the design of. And that's really it, guys. If you would like to see more Bloodborne content, let me know. There's lots of stuff still to do, despite having killed every boss. There's still a lot of replayability in the game, and obviously I'm having a lot of fun. Let me know what you thought, and yeah, remember to like if you've enjoyed this, and subscribe for more. Goodbye.